All right, so we are back, and guys, you know sometimes when things just kind of perfectly align, you didn't mean for them to, but you somehow ended up in the right place even though you didn't know where the you were going? Well, that's kind of how I feel right now, because Austin McBroom is back in the news, and it's not just because of what everyone has been talking about, him and KSI and his house that's apparently being foreclosed on, and he's being evicted from it, which is ironic that he didn't want to pay boxers on his YouTube boxing card, but now we'll have to pay movers to box up his items and ship him out of the house that he can't afford anymore. Karma's a bitch. But I may have something even fucking bigger. Let's just say that Austin's been up to something since the Social Gloves event. I don't know if he meant for anybody to find out, but I did. Part 1 of Austin McBroom's desperation. YouTube boxing's biggest scammer might be at it again. Breakdown. Let's go. All right, so the thing that you guys have all seen, and we're going to talk about first, is Austin McBroom calling out KSI. We know that this fight is something both guys want. It seems like KSI, in his mind, thinks beating Austin will propel him to fight Jake. I don't necessarily see it that way, but they both want it. It can be a real discussion, and maybe they've had talks about fighting in January or early next year, but I don't think it's real, because KSI is on tour right now, which a ton of people have already mentioned, but his tour does stop on the 25th of October. That's just a couple days from now. That would leave a space between the 25th of October to the 20th of January. He's going to have to come directly off tour, hop into camp for 11 weeks or 10 and a half weeks, then go into a fight with Austin, then get back on tour 4 or 5 days later and finish through February. I'm not saying he can't do that. I just don't know if it's the best idea if the ultimate goal is to beat Austin, then go fight Jake. You would think KSI needs to have a specific camp, no music, no sidemen, no nothing outside of just wanting to fight. So what I think is happening is Austin not only trying to capitalize by keeping his name synonymous with KSI in that fight, because both guys have said each other's names and they want that fight. It's what made people DM me at 12 at night last night like I had gone missing. It gets people talking, and that's ultimately, I think, what Austin is trying to do, because Austin is in debt big time, and not just from the boxing card that completely fucking flopped after he overpromised. He's getting hit with a ton of lawsuits there. His house is apparently being taken from him. There are things that this man needs capital for, and what better way to make quick cash than to goad KSI into a fight by telling everybody on Instagram that you guys are in talks to fight when I don't know that they actually are, then basically giving the guy that's been on tour for 2 months 10 weeks to prepare for something that you've probably been in the gym for since your Social Gloves event, because you're not allowed at home during the day while they show it to everybody else that's looking to buy the house that you didn't make payments on because, well, you're kind of known for that. But for Austin, I think he has a backup plan, and him reaching out to KSI was more of just a strong arm play to see what would happen, because I think something else is cooking behind the scenes. Let's talk about it. So your boy was on Instagram a couple days ago. I'm looking through the Explore page. I'm looking through my DMs telling you guys I fucking love you. But something happened to pop up on my Explore page, and it was a picture of Austin McBroom and W.A.D.E. Now, I've never seen or heard of those two doing any business together outside of Social Gloves, and that left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. We know that. So it was confusing to me, so I clicked on it, and this is what it said. Influencer boxing, Austin McBroom and W.A.D.E. in talks to fight in Dubai. And then when you click the picture, the tagged accounts come up as Austin McBroom, Comedy Gamer, W.A.D.E., Drama Alert, shout out Happy Punch Promotions, fucking died before they started, and this guy, one Ahmad. So when you go to Ahmad's profile, it says Ahmad Mahmood. I'm not sure what exactly Ahmad does, but apparently he is a successful entrepreneur in Dubai, which, make of that what you will. He's apparently super rich, likes to flash that luxurious lifestyle. And what do we know about very rich individuals that live in Dubai and have relationships with YouTubers? As of late, they have funded boxing events such as Social Knockout. All right, so we get the point. This Ahmad guy, he's an entrepreneur, very young, lives a flashy lifestyle, knows YouTubers, has connections. What's the fucking point, Wade? Well, if you click to the next slide, there is a back and forth FaceTime between Austin and Ahmed, and they're talking about something. The only problem is there's no fucking audio. It's muted on the video. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not done on accident. And most people that have, you know, lives and things to do outside of staring into this camera and bringing you guys the best damn content on the platform, they probably just left this alone and said, okay, well, Austin is definitely talking to somebody, whatever, and moved on. Well, I didn't fucking do that. So I did my best here and tried to transcribe this thing word for word. There's a couple parts I'm missing, and this is where I'm going to need your guys' help, so pay attention. Austin says, "You're good." Scratches his nose. Then he says, "The way you guys did with the people behind the story," or he could have said with people's backstory. And then he says, "But I'm sorry, when you do it with these guys, it doesn't make any sense." Then Austin interjects himself because if you didn't know, he was the main event of this Social Gloves card that did a whopping 100,000 pay-per-view buys off a projected 2.5 million. So of course he knows what he's talking about. So he goes on to say, "But if that was me, it's the best boxer. That's the point. Besides the promotion, what's left?" If I had to take a guess, and this is just a guess, but I'm just putting things together, the Instagram, which I've never heard of, so take that with a grain of salt, but it says that Austin is in talks to fight in Dubai, and then Ahmad, who is tagged in that message, is confirming in the comments that this is factual messaging. Guys, Austin McBroom is trying to put together a Social Gloves Dubai edition. He's seen that rich people in Dubai are pumping money into these YouTube boxing events. So it shows me that they're either super profitable with their gate or they just don't give a f. And the latter would mean Austin's eyes would go cartoon mode and see that people are giving away free money for him to come box on a card. So he tries to go and say, "Hey, KSI, let's do a fight." And if that doesn't work and they don't bite on the bait, he's going to go to Dubai, say, "Listen, I know how to run these events. Social Gloves did this, because he doesn't have to prove any of it, and he can go off hearsay because none of this stuff has been actually leaked in court documents yet. This fool is planning another event to pay for the one before. Austin's boxing business model is a Ponzi scheme. He will use whatever money he makes from whatever event he is in, funnel some of it into his LLC and be like, "Look, this is all I have to pay you guys out. Here are the rations." Or he'll fold his LLC that Social Gloves was ran under, keep all the money from whatever event he does, and pay fucking no one, skate off with the cash, and get away with being the biggest scammer in the fucking business. Case closed. Okay, not case closed. And honestly, this is all opinion. I don't have anything other than the words out of Austin's mouth, this Instagram that I've never heard of, to be fair, and the fact that Austin said he's trying to fight KSI in January with, again, no contract or no word from KSI's team on that even being a possibility. When you're seeing the way that Austin is navigating and he's talking about a YouTube boxing event in Dubai, and it doesn't seem like he's talking with the people from Social Knockout, but maybe just trying to use that same idea and go to other rich people in Dubai to front the money for the event. That way, when it doesn't make any, he doesn't have to be the one paying out. Like I said, I'm not fully worked out on this, and it could be a whole bunch of nothing. Am I close to finding something out that Austin didn't want people to see yet? Is he looking at possibly doing a boxing event with names like W.A.D.E on the card in Dubai? And if so, what does this Ahmad guy have to do with anything? How is he going to fund it? Is he in touch with Money Kicks and Social Knockout and Tamcon and those guys as well? We did see Adam Saleh, after whatever the his fight was in Social Knockout, too, call out Austin. Is that something he would have even entertained? The weight classes don't really make a lot of sense there. I don't know, but is Austin trying to sneak in a quick cash grab to recoup some of this value because he is bleeding from that Social Gloves event? You guys let me know. And again, as we leave off today, how in the fucking world do people still do business with Austin McBroom? At this point, desperation is setting in. Will Austin get that KSI fight, or are we going to get a Social Gloves Dubai special edition? I know I'm that close. I don't have the answers, but we're going to follow this story, and probably pretty soon, guess we'll find out.